can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Keenan. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like Neiman. And I'm still tryna fight my demons. Cause we all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war going on. Make me put my hands on my head like the Macarena. They want you walking on board like Kima. Ain't give a F to you like John Cena. Putting blood on the brand new Beamer. Tryna earn they stripes like Adidas. You get cold when you ride with the heater. It'll turn you to a dog like a Akita. And expose to a cat like a cheetah. They smoke my partner like reefer. Dímelo porque o no entiendo. Mi gente must really need Jesus. They shed real blood. I never seen the crypt and I believe it. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Y'all just talk, don't live it. And just took that route, that seen it. Now I'm so outspoken like Reason. Jimmy Neutron, boy, young G's. And I'm a self-made man out of Sweden. And it's still off top, I'm tweaking. But I still gotta fight my demons.
Welcome into the WAG show. This is episode 76. I'm your host, Ben Hossler. We are here to talk about today's best bets. It is Tuesday, May 30th. We're almost to June. I already see it in the chat. Get it out. Just get it out early. Yeah, I was wrong about the Boston Celtics. It was I'm not going to use this as an excuse. I will say Jason Tatum getting hurt on the first play of the game. That was unfortunate, but I was wrong. Miami earned that dub last night. Caleb Martin. If people don't know, people are acting like I hate when people act like I feel like the term role player is so like I feel like people use that to like kind of put people down. Like Caleb Martin is a baller, man. If you guys don't know, I mean, Caleb and Cody were very, very good in high school. I remember watching their highlights in high school all the time, and they were nasty in college. If you guys don't know, they played under Coach Musselman, who coaches Arkansas now. He was at Nevada when Caleb and Cody Martin were in college, and that was a good team. So I mean, yeah, Caleb Martin is a role player in the NBA, but like to act like Caleb Martin's a baller. Like he can go out there and do that. He's capable of doing that all the time, which we've seen in the playoffs. I mean, he's really taken over. And this goes to the conversation we had. I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but the Miami Heat don't care how athletic you are or whatever. Like they just want guys that can play ball. And Caleb Martin falls under that category. But yeah, I see you guys can laugh it up in the chat. I was wrong about the Celtics. I will say though, I will gladly trade being wrong about the Celtics for the 5-0 day I had in baseball yesterday. I will make that trade every single time. So it ended up working out. Made some money yesterday for myself and the subscribers. 5-0 on my baseball card, which was huge. And also, I actually prefer this because now I think you can comfortably bet the Denver Nuggets. Like Denver versus Boston, I think that was Boston, I feel like matches up better with Denver than Miami does. I do not think Miami, I don't think Denver's a good matchup for Miami. I think Denver's going to win in probably 5 games. So they're minus 400 to win the series. So I didn't bet that. But if you guys saw on Twitter earlier, I did bet the Denver Nuggets minus 1.5. So basically, if the Denver Nuggets win in anything less than 7 games, that bet will cash. I think that's a good bet. You can get that at minus 150. I like those odds a lot more than the minus 400 for the series. But I think Miami does not match up well with Denver. Like, I don't know how they're going to stop Jokic. Like, I've seen some people trying to say, like, oh, Bam is so good on D. Like, Anthony Davis is good on defense, and it didn't matter. Jokic kind of had his way, and Joker's had his way with Bam in the past. If you look up their head-to-head stats when they've played against each other, Bam's never really done well against Jokic in terms of defensively. And I don't really know how they're going to try and defend them. I mean, Eric Spoelstra is a great coach, so I'm sure he'll come up with something. But I think it's just as about as bad of a matchup for Miami as you could get is this Denver team. So I think Denver's going to win. Caleb was the more talented one, yes. And yeah, I'm taking nothing away from the Heat. They've certainly earned it. Definitely the hardest road to get there, beating Milwaukee and the Knicks and then Boston, blowing that lead, but then to have the mental strength to still go on the road and win that game 7 after you've choked away a 3-0 lead. I mean, credit to them, credit to Spoelstra. They definitely earned it. And I like Jimmy Butler. Like, I wasn't, like, rooting against Miami for any particular reason. I just had Boston in that one parlay, so that's mostly why I was rooting for them. But yeah, I think Denver's going to cruise. We don't really have any basketball to talk about today, though. The finals. Facebook user says, "Yo, hello, Facebook user. Welcome to the stream. If you're new, we use the free and premium tools at betcomer.com. We identify best bets. I run through all of the games for the day, and I give out some betting picks. So we're going to go through the baseball games today. There's no basketball tonight, no hockey tonight. I am going to give out a parlay today for baseball, which I normally don't do. But I think that there's some value on a couple teams today when it comes to the baseball slate. So I'm going to give out a little parlay, and we're going to run through the rest of the games here. I know it's early, but Caleb's 16.5 is high. It's super high. Tough to argue what he's been doing, but I'll have to wait and see kind of how the matchups work out in this series before I bet a 16.5 on him. But, I mean, he was money. He went over his point total in all 7 of those games against the Celtics. Pretty remarkable. All right, let's dive into the baseball slate. This is a free tool over at betcomer.com. You can access this for free every single day. It's a very useful tool. It's called the Live Trends tool. If you download the Betcomer app, which is free, you can access this tool for free right on your phone. And it presents you all the public betting information for the day. And this comes from DraftKings Sportsbook. And it's the first tool I look at the night before or the morning of when I'm looking at the slate. So first game we have today is Texas and Detroit. And one of these teams is going in our parlay. So for today's parlay, it's a 3-teamer. And I'm putting the Detroit Tigers on the money line in this parlay. So I think this is a good spot for the Tigers. I'm a Faedo fan here. I was pretty high on him when he was in college and coming out of college. He struggled in his pro career with injuries, but he's battled back. And outside of his first start this year, he looks pretty good. His stuff plus and all that stuff, he's not like top of the league, but he's slightly above average. And more importantly, his control with his pitches has been really, really good this year. And I think that, we could maybe see a breakout from him. People forget. People are very quick in baseball to cancel players, give up on players, but sometimes it takes time. Faedo was a top 20 pick in the MLB draft. Like, he clearly has ability, and it looks like he's putting it together somewhat. I think he's definitely better than Martin Perez at this point of their careers. And I've talked about this a few times this year if you watch the stream, but the Detroit Tigers are much better against left-handed pitching than they are right-handed pitching. So if you're looking to bet against the Tigers, I prefer it to be when a right-handed pitcher is going. Like yesterday, I was all over the Rangers with Eovaldi going. He's obviously right-handed. With the lefty on the mound today, Detroit is better against lefties. So if I'm ever looking to bet on Detroit, it's typically when they're facing a lefty. So I like Detroit tonight. Some of the line movement indicates that as well. A little bit of reverse line movement there. Overwhelming bet bet percentage and money coming in on the Texas Rangers, but line's moving to Detroit. So I like Detroit tonight. I think you can bet them first 5. You can bet them full game. And Detroit money line plus 110 will be going in the 3-team parlay. Next game, we have San Diego Padres, Miami Marlins. I don't want anything to do with this game. I cannot figure this game out, mainly because I don't like to bet on the Padres right now. They've been one of the most least profitable teams in baseball this year. I can't figure their offense out. They're the worst team in baseball in terms of hitting with runners in scoring position, and I don't understand them. I do not understand this Padres team, so I don't want to bet on them. And then on the opposite side, we've talked about this a few times, but Sandy Alcantara, he's been very up and down this year relative to what we saw the last 2 seasons from him. And I don't really want to bet him as a minus 135, minus 140 favorite here. So I'm going to be passing on this game altogether. If I had to pick a side, it would probably be the Padres, but I'm just going to avoid this game. Guardians-Orioles, I said this yesterday. I saved the Guardians season by going to that game Sunday. They won in walk-off fashion. Then they come out yesterday. They're scoring 5-6 runs. I don't know what's going on, but I think I saved the season. But I'm not going to be betting on them here. Another game I really just can't figure out. Cal Quantrill's been very inconsistent this season. Kyle Gibson, I'm a fan of, but he's been a little bit inconsistent as well. So I'll probably avoid this game. Maybe a little bit of sharp money coming in on the over there, but the line moved a full run from 8 to 9. So I'll just be avoiding that game for the most part. Milwaukee and Toronto, Adrian Hauser against Yusei Kikuchi. This is an interesting one because Adrian Hauser has looked pretty good this year for the Brewers. We've only seen him for a few starts, but the most important thing that sticks out to me, he's cut his walk rate almost like by over 50%. He's not walking anywhere near as many guys as he has in his career, and he's always been pretty good as a right-handed pitcher at getting right-handed hitters out. It's when you get a bunch of lefties in the lineup is when he can really struggle, but he's not going to have that problem against the Toronto Blue Jays. They're going to run out mostly right-handed hitters. He can keep the ball on the ground. He's not walking guys. So I think there's some value on the Brewers here. Now, I will also say Kikuchi's kind of a pitcher that I'm more often than not fading, but left-handed pitching will play against the Brewers because a lot of their good hitters are lefties. So you think about basically their top, 3-4 hitters are left-handed, and then they're missing some other guys that are righties as well. Who's not walking? Adrian Hauser is not walking as many batters this season as he has in the past. In the past, he's been a 10+% walk rate guy, which is not when you're talking about a pitcher and he's walking over 10% of batters, that's not good. But he's cut that way down. He's under 5% this year I think he's made 4 starts. So I like to see that. And he's going to see a right-handed heavy lineup tonight. So I think there's some value on the Brewers here. Not sure. I probably would take him first 5 if you can get the plus. If you can get them at plus half a run on the first 5, I like that just because you're protected if the game's tied. You would still get a win. But I do think there's some value on the Brewers tonight. Mets, Phillies, Rangers, Suarez, Kodai Senga. Senga, I was really excited about him the first few starts, but he walks too many guys for me to get super excited. And then on the opposite side, Ranger Suarez, he's inconsistent. I'm not a huge Ranger Suarez fan. You would think that the Mets would hit him well, given how much they've seen him, and they typically hit lefties pretty decently, but he has actually been – it's a pretty decent sample size because he's seen them a good amount, but Ranger Suarez has been good against the Mets in his career. So I kind of woke up today, and when I first looked at it, I thought I was going to be on the Mets here, but I don't like anything. I probably would just avoid this game altogether. If you wanted to lean for the game, it would be the Mets, but I'm not going to be placing any bets on either side of that game. Red Sox Reds is kind of the same situation for me as Marlins Padres. I don't want to bet any side of that game. I am a Bayo fan, So I thought I would be on the Red Sox, but I don't like them at minus 175. Lively's actually been pretty good for the Reds too. He's coming off back-to-back 8+ strikeout games. Stuff looks decent, not above average, but solid. Not as bad as you would think. But I definitely don't like to bet on the Reds. So, and I like Bayo. So if I was looking for a lean here, it'd be Red Sox. But as you can see, some pretty big line movement towards the Reds here. 70% of the bets almost on the Red Sox, but lines moved almost 20 cents in favor of the Reds. So that's a bad sign, in my opinion, for the Red Sox. So I'll just be avoiding this game altogether. Royals Cardinals. I was on the Royals yesterday, didn't bet them, but I told you guys to fade Adam Wainwright. One of my premium bets yesterday was Kansas City over 3.5 runs. They scored 7, I think, which was an easy win. I'm just going to keep fading Adam Wainwright every time he starts, I think. But this one's a little bit tougher. I don't love betting on Zach Greinke. So I don't know. I probably just will avoid. You could use maybe the Cardinals in a parlay. But if you guys have watched the stream a lot, you know my rule. Typically, minus 150 is my cutoff. I don't bet anything over that on the money line for a baseball team unless it's in a parlay. Rays Cubs, I think there's definite value on the Rays tonight. Rays are going in the parlay as well. So I told you guys at the top of the stream, 3-team parlay tonight in baseball. First team was the Tigers. Second team's going to be the Tampa Bay Rays. I'll always bet on Shane McClanahan. Chicago, tons of strikeouts in this lineup against lefties. They got that great start from Marcus Stroman yesterday, 1-hit shutout. Don't really expect that to happen again with Kyle Hendricks going. So feel pretty confident in the Tampa Bay Rays here. So Rays are going in the parlay as our second team. Let's see where we're at here. Next game, Angels White Sox. Tyler Anderson, Lucas Giolito. Tyler Anderson, I've told you guys for the last 2 weeks, has been horrible this year. Shane Taco's good. Over 5.5 Ks for the Shane Taco is fine. I gave out a 6-leg prize picks for fun with the Taco in our Discord, and I took the over on him, yes. But, yeah, Tyler Anderson has been terrible. You guys know I don't like to bet on the White Sox, but Tyler Anderson's been bad. So I think the over here would be the play. I could see the White Sox putting up 5+ runs, and I could see the Angels getting some off of Giolito as well. So if I was looking for a lean in that Angels game, I'd go with the over. Minnesota and Houston. You guys know I like Joe Ryan, but kind of my rule I've adopted with the Twins is that I bet them first 5 because I don't love what I've seen from their bullpen. Even yesterday, they were winning pretty easily after the first 5 innings, and then Jose Altuve hits a grand slam off the bullpen. So I think Minnesota first 5 has some value here. Joe Ryan did struggle against the Astros. I think it was earlier this season, but I'm a believer in him. I think he's good. I think they definitely win the pitching matchup. So Twins first 5 would be my lean in that game. Braves A's, I'm going to have to avoid here. You guys, first of all, yesterday we talked about it. The Sunday Night Baseball narrative was in play with the Oakland A's last night. I'm kind of mad I didn't bet it. But even today, you guys know my rule. When JP Sears pitches, I'm not really looking to bet against the A's. So I'll just avoid this game. I'll avoid the A's at minus 250. Bryce Elder's been basically the luckiest pitcher in baseball, so I don't want to bet on him as a minus 250 favorite, even though it's against the A's. And then JP Sears is the A's best pitcher. Tyler Anderson's no good. He's really bad. For the last few years, he's been serviceable as like a real-life pitcher, but he's fallen off this year. He's really bad. Not someone I want to bet on. So I'm avoiding the Braves tonight. I think it's kind of a trappy spot. Pass on them. Rockies Diamondbacks. Zach Gallen at home is always a good bet. So this is the third team going in our parlay for tonight. 3-teamer in baseball. We have Detroit Tigers, Tampa Bay Rays, Arizona Diamondbacks, all on the money line, and it pays out plus 334. That's our parlay for tonight. But I like Gallen at home. I like him against the Rockies. Don't love Kyle Freeland. Kyle Freeland has really bad numbers against the Diamondbacks as well. He's seen them a lot in his career, over 100 plate appearance sample size. And I like the Diamondbacks here with Gallen at home. Yankees, Mariners. This is a tough one because you guys know I've kind of been fading Nestor Cortez, and he hasn't been great. So I don't know what to make of this. I think the over 7 might be okay, but you can see here there was some sharp money coming in on the under. 22% of the bets, but 50% of the money. So there's some big wagers coming in on the under, but that was when the line was at 7.5. Obviously, it's moved down to 7 now. So there's a little bit of value, I think, maybe with the over, but I don't know. I told you guys last start I was nervous that I feel like Cortez he's due for like a decent start, even though I'm not a fan of his. So I feel like I'm going to cash my chips in and just avoid that. But that's a weird game. Giving out a play later. I don't know. We'll look at props. There's one prop I really like, which I'll talk about. But I think the only play on the stream I'm giving out is the parlay, which is Tigers money line, Diamondbacks money line, Rays money line plus 334. 3-team parlay. But yeah, I gave out three plays for premium members today, which are in the Discord, but I was saving that parlay for the stream. But there is one prop I'll talk about at the end. I think we have one more game to get through here. 2 more. Pirates, Giants, avoiding this game. Pass altogether. I don't want anything to do with it. And then Nationals, Dodgers, kind of the same thing. I mean, I want to bet Dodgers, but I mean, can I justify Tony Gonsolin being a minus 350 favorite? I don't think I can. So that looks like an avoid as well. So the prop I wanted to give out was, I think it's minus 120 on FanDuel. You might be able to get better odds on DK. I just don't have DK pulled up, or whatever other site you bet on. But let me see here. Yeah, it's minus 125 on FanDuel, but Luis Robert over 2.5. Not over 2.5. On FanDuel, it's Luis Robert 2+ total bases. On DraftKings, it would be over 1.5. But Luis Robert total bases, I think it's a great spot for him. I sprinkled him to hit a home run today. He hits left-handed pitching really well. He matches up really well against Tyler Anderson's pitch mix. 80% of Tyler Anderson's pitches are fastball or changeup. Luis Robert's the best fastball hitter in the White Sox lineup. He has huge splits against fastballs, and then against changeups, well above average. One of the best changeup hitters in this lineup as well. So I think individually it's a good matchup. He hits left-handed pitching well. Not super afraid of the Angels bullpen. They have some decent pieces, but not anything I'm fading. So Luis Robert, 2+ total bases tonight, minus 125 on FanDuel. I think he could knock that out in his first at bat if he just hits a leadoff double or something. You know, you just knock it right out. What do you guys think of the bet I put in? Denver Nuggets minus 1.5 for the series at minus 150. You guys rocking with that? Someone in the chat earlier said Miami's winning. I don't see there's a situation that happens. JD Martinez over 1.5 total bases. That's fine. Dodgers guys are fine tonight. Freeman's the factory. You can always bet Freddie Freeman. Nuggets sweeping. A sweep is a lot to ask, I feel like, in the finals, but I guess I wouldn't be shocked. So you think Luis Roberts taking 2 bases? Yes, I do. And, I mean, you're kind of protected. Like, if you hit 2 singles or something, you'll still cash, but I think it's a really good spot for him. I don't know if let me see. I don't know if he's ever faced Anderson in his career. Let me see. Pull that up. Yeah, he only has 2 at-bats, so nothing crazy. But I think it's a good spot for him tonight. He also owes me money from earlier in the season, so he's due. Two people said Nuggets in 5. That's kind of the wavelength I'm on too. All right, if you guys have any further questions, you can find me in the Discord, betkarmachat.com. Download the BetKarma app. It's free. You can access this tool I used on the stream today for free. Or if you sign up for a premium membership, you can get access to the Prize Picks Predictor in the app as well. And we're working on a feature where you can get my betting picks for the premium in the app as well. Might be coming in the future. And we're working on some other stuff as well. So download the app. It's free. Hop in the Discord. At least get in the free channels. You can ask me questions in there. And I'll be in the premium channels all night sweating out these bets. 5-0 yesterday. Up almost 20 units on the season for the premium members. 3 bets posted for tonight. Good luck with your bets tonight, guys. I'll see you Wednesday at 3 p.m.